Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams. I just want to share with you a couple of things that I think are really important to know about spiritual warfare. If that's something that you have ever experienced with anyone, where you realize that there's somebody who is not for you at all, they're not in your corner. In fact, they have waged war and they want to defeat. I'm gonna say someone, because I don't like to speak over you in that way. I don't wish this on anyone. So I'm gonna say someone, okay? To keep that energy distanced, okay? Because what I want for you is beautiful protection and abundance and peace and love, okay? But there are people who work in the shadows, and the more honest we are about that fact, that some people are very obsessed with trying to energetically defeat someone because they're not willing to do the work that they need to do in order to boost themselves. So they would rather go around bringing other people down. These people do exist. And I want to share with you a couple ways that it's like they're tricks, right? So that you can be aware. And because awareness is really everything with spiritual warfare. If you're aware of it, you can protect yourself from it and move forward in your peace and prosperity, okay? So dark energy workers and people who work with chaos magic in order to manipulate others and defeat them, they know that the mind is the jackpot. If they can get into a person's mind and sow seeds of doubt, of anxiety, of fear, worry, then they've already won half the battle right there. So a lot of times what people will do who want to manipulate someone is they will project negative or evil thoughts to them. Now, this isn't something that people need herbs and oils and charcoal and all this stuff for, graveyard dirt. They don't need all of that. A lot of ritual workers like to use that kind of stuff, but they could just sit there and think of how much they hate a person and send evil thoughts to them. Thoughts of worry, of doubt, and of fear. Now, if this person is very dark, they might collect information about this person that would help them from a psychological standpoint to target that person even more. Let's say there's some people in an office and a coworker has decided that they want another person's position. So they have targeted them and are trying to defeat them, knocking them out of their position so they can take it for themselves. And let's say this person who wants to defeat this other coworker, that they work with dark energy. So one thing that they would want to do is collect as much information about that person, their fears, and whatever else they can learn about the person as much as possible. Maybe they find out because they're in the lunchroom one day and they overhear the person talking about they're thinking that they're sick because they're a hypochondriac. So they're kind of like laughing it off and telling this information about themselves that they always fear that they're getting sick. But this person is listening with evil intentions. So when they want to attack them, the thoughts that they project toward this person all have to do with fear of getting sick. Maybe fear of getting the flu or fear of getting COVID or whatever it is that they think this person might be afraid of. And so they're projecting these thoughts to them. Then let's say they want to layer this work, because that's usually what chaos magic workers do, is layer their intentions and their ritual workings. So they're going to wait until this person goes to sleep and dream travel, accessing their dream energy. Because if this person has not protected their dreams as they're sleeping, then on the astral, they are wide open for any attack in the middle of the night or any other time they're sleeping. So this person is implanting thoughts or projecting energy in their dream state so that they are visualizing themselves or experiencing a sickness in their dream. So when they wake up, it feels even more real, this fear of being sick. Then the person, the dark energy worker, can go a step further. they might access this person's newsfeed energetically, programming it so that this person will constantly see videos with alarming titles about getting sick or epidemics around the world or whatever. Now, a lot of these videos might be clickbait. A lot of these videos might not even be factual. But the dark magician does not care at all, because they just want to have the effect of creating fear in this person's mind. And the reason why they want to create so much fear is because by doing that, they are lowering this person's vibration. So this is why, as the chosen, as people who are living, breathing, intending to do our best to live in an upstanding way and to help others, to help ourselves, it is very important for us to protect our energy and to be aware of the dreams that we have and where they're coming from, and to protect ourselves in our dream state. And in a lot of my videos, I talk about that because it's important to do these things, especially if you work with energy, and especially if you are connected to other people that you know or don't know, okay? It's important to protect your vibe so that people are not able to access your thoughts. Or if someone, let's say you have an off day where you might be in a little bit of a low vibe state, but once that thought hits you, you're able to recognize, oh wait, that's not from me. That feels like total anxiety. I don't vibrate there. And then you reflect for a moment. And a lot of times you can track who sent you that thought. If you go into a meditative state, or you might just be able to ask the divine, where did that come from? Bam, they'll let you know. Because if you have a close relationship with your ancestors and spirit allies, they will give you that information at the drop of a dime, because they want you to know, they want you to be prepared. Now, another way that dark workers try to infect a person's thoughts and feelings and emotions is through tarot reading. So because they know that a lot of people are spiritual, and they might not know that it's specifically through tarot readings, but a lot of these dark energy workers are shapeshifters. All right. So if they are aware that you watch tarot readings, something that will often happen that you can identify is that, let's say you're watching a tarot reading and the reader mentions a person who's currently trying to do negative work or send negative energy your way. Let's say you usually identify this person as a King of Swords. Let's say they're masculine, they're more logical, analytical, they're a bit cold, maybe very sharp in their way of communicating. And yeah, maybe they even have some involvement with the law or something like that. So you see them as a King of Swords. Okay. But when you watch a reading that seems to be accurate, this person is coming through as a Queen of Cups. And so you're like, wait a minute, Queen of Cups. Now, they're describing your enemy to a T, with all the negative energy, all the negative intentions and all of that, but they're coming through as a Queen of Cups. Well, one reason for that is that a lot of dark energy workers shapeshift on the daily, multiple times a day, because they're constantly moving through realms wearing different masks in order to manipulate people. Now, anybody can be a shapeshifter. You can be a divine shapeshifter and go into different modalities, different modes, different realms. That's within your right as a divine being. But dark energy workers do that more often because they do it with the intention not of healing and growing and exploring themselves. They do it with the intention of fooling people. And so that King of Swords might be tapped into their feminine energy at this time, and they're coming through as a Queen of Cups, manipulating someone, pulling the wool over their eyes in order for this person to think that they are sweet and loving and harmonious. Okay. But let's say that you have an actual Queen of Cups in your life. It could be, I don't know, maybe a friend, someone who's very kind to you, and loving. But now this reader is describing this Queen of Cups, who you're thinking is your friend, because that's how you normally see them. Maybe they're a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and they're feminine, okay? You hear this person referring to a Queen of Cups, but they're talking about them like they're Satan himself. But they're actually referring to the King of Swords. In another reading, the King of Swords could appear as a Page of Cups reversed because they're trying to love bomb someone. Or they could be a Knight of Cups because they're trying to come to somebody with a love offer. So it just depends on how that person is presenting themselves at the time when that energy is being channeled. But it's very helpful to not necessarily assign any attributes to any person in your life until you have clarity as to who Spirit is bringing that message through about for you, okay? Who it applies to in your world. Also, before you tune into tarot readings, it's very helpful to ask Spirit to bring you the ones that are meant for you, that you will process in a healthy way. 1111 on the timer. Ask Divine to protect whatever portals are open to you and to only open portals through which Divine energy is coming through, and to close all others. And also to help you identify, to give you the strong discernment that you need in order to get the help from that tarot reading, the support, the good vibes from that tarot reading, but not any of the worry, anxiety, or fear that someone might be sending through to you that could be picked up with your news feed, on the algorithm, depending on what your algorithm is picking up, and in any tarot readings, okay? So the main thing is to speak protection over yourself and to do this consistently, and also to remain in a high vibe state. If you are in a low vibe state, then be very aware and ask Divine for discernment, and then boost your vibe as much as you're able to and as soon as you're able to. Okay? And I hope that this was helpful to you, because we got to stay up on these adventures with the karmics. Which really, that is what it is, because all of their little tricks, they teach us how to, 12:34 on the timer, how to align with our truth and with the divine, so that we are stronger, and so that these tactics are never a threat to us. It just helps us to learn about ourselves and about the power that we have, and how we have the ability to protect ourselves from these dark, evil energies and intentions. All right, beautiful being, I hope that this was helpful to you, and I wish you peace, joy, and many blessings. I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Bye-bye.